Hi, everyone. We're going to start in like 3 minutes, maybe, hopefully. So grab your pizza now.
Oh,
Today, when we got our blood yeah, and they were like, sorry, it's a thing. So I was just there, and I was like, okay. And then there was a cross of science. I was like, hey, Counselors, this is your 1 minute warning, please. Thank you. The mic.
counselors, this is your 37-second warning.
Okay, everyone, we are going to get started. If everyone can take their seats in the next couple of seconds. So welcome back to our part 2 January meeting. The time is 7:07, so we're going to call the meeting to order. Please proceed to Echo 360 for roll call. And a reminder, if you are a proxy, please also proceed there. Okay, thank you for that. I'll leave it open for the next couple of seconds for anyone else. Tech crew, are you hearing that feedback? It's kind of gross. Thank you. Okay, comments from the chair. Thank you guys for your patience with me last week. I appreciate it. Today's gonna be a really quick meeting. And also thank you all for filling out the form for the council dinner. So right now we're thinking it's gonna be the week of March 3rd. So that's 2 weeks after reading week. And probably a Wednesday night or a Thursday night. Do you guys want to do like a show of hands right now, like what day people might prefer, Wednesday or Thursday? I think that would be like the 5th and the 6th of March. So it's not a council week. I'll give you a second to think. Okay, who would prefer Wednesday that week? Okay, Thursday. What is that, like equal split? Okay, well, I guess we'll just go with whatever I choose. Everyone should just start like screaming now. Whoever's louder. It actually was a lot of Wednesday. We can count. Shall we count? Okay, Wednesday. Can you raise your placard so I can like see? For Wednesday. Thank you, Dane. Oh, that's Wednesday. Everyone's changing. Angie, you were such a big Thursday before. What happened? Okay, we're gonna have it on Wednesday. So whatever. Wait, unless the wave says no. Unless the wave says no, I'll let you guys know ASAP. Okay, cool. So we'll have dinner on whatever date that is. I think it would be the 5th of March. At this time, I would also like to provide a reminder that campaigning is not permitted in USC spaces, including at council meetings. Individuals involved in the campaigning process are permitted to be in the gallery or in their seats during the meeting, but anyone wearing campaign-related clothing, merchandise, or actively talking about their campaign in any way may be considered a violation of election rules. Also, as always, please remain seated during the voting period. We're going to be so quick tonight, guys. We can do it if we all focus up. Final reminders, agenda items are due this coming Monday, February 3rd at midnight. So please send those in if you have any. Standing committee meetings will all be taking place next week. So make sure you are attending those. And our February council meeting will be on February 12th. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, into our for action section. So we're going to resume with second readings of all of our motions from last time. And then we'll do debate periods and then we will vote. So we're now going to do our second reading of the 6 motions and we will vote on them today. The first motion is the motion to approve the provincial budget submission recommendations. This motion reads, whereas the provincial government will be accepting written submissions for the pre-budget consultations in advance of the upcoming 2025 provincial budget, be resolved that council approves the provincial pre-budget submission recommendations. Our mover here is President Collegian and our seconder is Councillor Chai. At this time, are there any points of debate? Are there any objections to this motion? All right, please proceed to Echo 360 to vote. All right, we have passed this motion. We're going to move on to our next one. So our next motion is the motion to approve amendments to the nominating and selection committee terms of reference. This motion reads, whereas the USC conducts continuous review of all documents in its policy manual on a rolling basis, whereas the current policy includes outdated role titles and lacks explicit references to relevant policies, whereas the proposed updates aim to improve clarity, alignment, and practicality while maintaining the current policy's structure and purpose, be it resolved that council approve the proposed amendments to the nominating and selection committee terms of reference So we have President Collegian again as our mover, and we have our seconder, Counselor Vanderloot. Do we have any points of debate at this time? Are there any objections to the motion? Okay, please proceed to Echo 360 to vote. Okay, this motion also passes. Next up, we have motion number 7. This is the motion to approve the amendments to the Executive Officer Accountability and Discipline Procedure. This motion reads, whereas the USC conducts continuous review of all documents in its policy manual on a rolling basis, whereas the Executive Officer Accountability and Discipline Procedure is scheduled for review in the 2024-25 academic year, be it resolved that the procedure be amended to include terms that enhance fairness, transparency, and practicality within the executive branch while preserving council's oversight authority. Be it further resolved that council approve the proposed amendments to the Executive Officer Accountability and Discipline Procedure. So we have President Collegian as our mover and Counselor Bennett as our seconder. Are there any points of debate at this time? Are there any objections? Okay, please proceed to Echo 360 to vote. Okay, this motion has also passed. Next up, we have the motion to approve amendments to the executive office terms of reference. Executive officer, sorry. This motion reads, whereas a comprehensive review of related governance policies necessitates minor amendments to the executive officer terms of reference, whereas the proposed changes improve alignment, clarity, and efficiency within the policy, whereas the removal of duplicate content streamlines the governance framework, be it resolved that council approve the proposed amendments to the executive officer terms of reference. So we have President Collegian as our mover and Counselor John as our seconder. Are there any points of debate at this time? Are there any objections to the motion? Okay, please proceed to Echo 360 to vote. This motion also passes. Our next motion is the motion to approve amendments to bylaw 3. This motion reads, whereas the USC conducts continuous review of all documents in its policy manual on a rolling basis, whereas bylaw number 3 is scheduled for review in the 2024-25 academic year, whereas bylaw number 3 currently overlaps with the executive officer's terms of reference, causing ambiguity and inefficiencies, whereas gaps in inclusivity, transparency, and adaptability hinder the bylaw's effectiveness and alignment with the USC's governance framework, be it resolved that council approve the proposed amendments to bylaw number 3. We have President Collegian as our mover, and our seconder is Counselor Saha. Are there any points of debate about this motion? Are there any objections to the motion? All right, please proceed to Echo 360 again. All right, this motion also passes. Now we are on to our final motion for the night, which is the motion to approve the amendments to bylaw 4. So this motion reads, whereas the USC conducts continuous review of all documents in its policy manual on a rolling basis, whereas bylaw number 4 is scheduled for review in the 2024-25 academic year, whereas the VPSS no longer holds responsibilities that require signing authority, and limiting signing authority strengthens financial oversight. Be it resolved that bylaw number 4 be updated to remove the VPSS as a signing officer of the USC. Be it resolved that council approve the proposed amendments to bylaw number 4. Our mover is President Collegian, and our seconder is Councillor Sharma. Are there any points of debate at this time? Are there any objections to the motion? Okay, please proceed to Echo 360 to vote. All right, our last motion has passed. Next up, we have in our for information section, the council composition procedure update. So I'm going to pass my speaking rights to Dane, and she's going to tell us a little bit about this.
Hi, everyone. So as some of you might remember from my email from last week, just to quickly recap for the video feed, each year we have to revisit the council composition procedure, which outlines, generally speaking, the actual composition for council in terms of the number of councillors in each division, faculty, and professional association as council as a whole. We typically receive enrollment updates from Western outside of the policy substantive review cycle, which typically happens every 3 years. So if there are any changes in enrollment that impact the number of counselors on council generally, based on the formula that's outlined in the council composition procedure, we have to change that. Thankfully, this year, there are no significant changes that require us to add or remove any seats from any position on council. So instead of having any amendments or action on your part to actually vote it through, there are no changes. So there's no update, and it's just an information item and a little reminder that that exists and that nothing has actually changed. So that's it. Any questions?
Councillor Soto, go ahead.
Thank you. I believe Ridley and you had a conversation previously about this, but just for information, to our understanding, I know it says at King's University College will have 4 seats in the next year, but I believe it's actually 3. Is that correct?
Not based on the enrollment figures that we received from the registrar's office. So as far as we know, that should remain the same. Like nothing has changed.
Well, that's good news for us. Then. I'll take it. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Anyone else? Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Dane. At this time, is there any new business anyone would like to introduce? Yes, Councillor Bennett.
Hi guys, this is really quick. Just wanted to let everybody know that music no longer has a president. So if you have any music related concerns, come to me, Chantel. Thanks guys.
Thank you, Councillor. Yes, Councillor Ahmad.
Ivy is not on the council and from the constituency list. We exist. We deserve that loss. But it's awesome.
Counselor, to address your point, I will look into it. I think we're just working off of maybe a slightly outdated version that was added to the agenda. I will make sure to have the updated version available. You will have the same representation as this year, though. I can confirm.
Yes, Councillor Lee.
Is Ivy just business, like the second line item? Or is that something else?
I'm sure, depending on the version. They should have their own line.
just in case anyone couldn't hear Dane, she just said it possibly depends on version history. Dane's going to investigate. We'll keep you guys posted. Are there any other points of new business that need to be brought up at this time? Yes, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. This is for the faculty presidents. Did you all receive my email about the code of conduct review? Because I sent it and it was real, like Ivy. Yes? A week, probably on Monday or Tuesday. Should have been sent to your, most likely your UWO email. Even if you didn't get it or you did, it was sent. The reason I bring it up is because currently I'm on the review board for the student code of conduct. And they've agreed to have a student consultation period tomorrow at 3 p.m. With this information, we've invited some cultural clubs as well as our faculty leaders. So as presidents, if you are unable to go tomorrow at 3 p.m., please send a designate. I know social science, for example, is sending their VP advocacy. I don't want to leave anybody out. So if you have the email, just make sure you fill out the RSVP that is there. And make sure you're able to go. The code is super important. It's not ever something that any student should want to or have to deal with, but when you do have to deal with it, it's really important that we have student feedback on this. I think it's actually the first time in a long time or ever they've allowed for this kind of thing to happen, to have like open student conversation about this. So please take advantage of this time with our, senior leaders and administrators on campus. It's in this room tomorrow at 3 p.m. One faculty designate, please. Thank you.
Thank you, President Collegian. Are there any other points of new business? Okay, at this time, we'll now open the floor to any questions and comments from the Western community. Going once, going twice. Okay, thank you, Western community. Can I now get a mover and seconder to terminate? Counselor Ahmad can be the mover and Counselor Chai can be the seconder. All right, so it's 7:26. This meeting is over. Everyone go to your standing committee meetings, please. And please take the pizza away. Finish the pizza, please, and the cookies and the drinks, everything.